Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Total Picture. Today we're plowing fields, so let's get started. So right now we're at one of our fields that's done with corn harvest. It's been closed out for harvest. So now we are actually plowing our field. Altogether we're doing tillage, but this is our plow. So as you can see, he lowers the plow down, and it has these big massive blades on it that you'll see later that are cutting in and turning over the soil. And then there's discs that help kind of cut up everything that he's been over. So he is doing the final steps of our field for the year. And in just a little bit, this field will be completely done, and we can say it's ready for winter. So right now, that's what we're doing. It's part of how we close out all of our cornfields every year. So we have right now 3 units, one there, one right behind him that just took off. And then we have one further down the field. So this helps to make sure that the work is quick and efficient, and then we can get all of our fields closed before everything gets too cold to turn over. So right now we're just hanging out and watching this. And then at another field we'll jump to, we are still cutting beans, and we'll give you guys an update on that over there.
So before I do the thing where I smack the camera and I cut to a different field and show you something else, our farm supervisor Danny came up and he offered me a ride to go right along down beside the plow as it was going down the field. And we did, and it was awesome. We got to see an up and close shot of the plow cutting into the ground. You see how it turns the dirt over, and how the row of discs helps cut up the dirt as the plow's turning it over, and just kind of helping cut the clods up a little bit more to give us smaller pieces. So we do that, and then Danny lets me know that we have a few different pieces of equipment running very close by that show the different ways that we plow and till our field in the fall. So we move along up to a different field, and we come across the ripper, which is basically rows of discs that are cutting in, turning up the soil, and then behind it is some hanging tines that act as a rake that as we turn up the soil with the discs, these tines rake across the field, kind of helping to cut up the bigger chunks, those clods, to give us a smoother finish than we would without it. So this, as Danny told me, is what we use when we are transferring from corn to soybeans, so we don't have to bury the corn as deep like we would with a plow or something like that. So we use this ripper. It turns it up, gets everything buried, and then it's ready for soybeans come next spring. And then we move over to a different field where we're running a disc. And this one, Danny says, is one of his favorite pieces of equipment. So this, again, is a disc-focused piece of equipment. So this has very sharp discs on it that we plunge into the ground, and they spin and they turn up dirt. The contours and the shape of these discs help it to do just that. And so we roll this along, and as it's turning up soil, it's fluffing it up. It's getting everything from the surface level buried. And then this one, which is why it's Danny's favorite, has these rolling baskets on the back that as you go down the field, these baskets have springs that put pressure on the ground, and they help to cut up the clods a little bit more, and it produces a much finer, much smoother, even surface once they're done. So it looks a lot better, but also in the long run, it produces a much better surface to start from come springtime. So, like I said, this is one of Danny's favorites, and he was very excited to show this one to me, and I appreciate it. And Danny kind of explained all the differences of what each different piece of equipment does. He mentioned that the plows that I've showed you first, They do the deepest cut. They bury everything from the top a lot deeper, and then it goes to different depths and different purposes for each piece of equipment. And it was very interesting. And I didn't know that much about all the different types of plows and tillages that we do. But thank you, Danny, for shedding some light on this for me. But now we're going to go back and let's hit that transition to go check out the soybean field.
So we made it back over to the bean side of things. So I caught up with Brad at the end of the day, and he's over here getting the field started. So he's cutting his first pass and getting everything dialed in and set up. But beans are going strong. We continue to harvest every day we can. So part of the things we talked about with beans early on is we have to harvest them very dry, unlike corn that we harvest wet. Because with beans, we have no way of drying them, so we need them field dry. And so we harvest beans when they're at a certain moisture, and things like dew and rain can obviously affect that. So beans we harvest as long as the moisture is good. So we'll have crews come in later and harvest later in the day if there's some early rain, or if we had a late dry off on the dew from the night before. So beans are a little more particular about how and when we can harvest them, but nonetheless, we're still doing it. Beans are almost done. We probably have another week and some change left. So we're working hard to make sure that we get everything done. And yeah, right now Brad's working the combine and we're getting beans harvested. So we continue to move right along with everything. And as I said last week, corn harvest finished up. So we're moving along through harvest. We're almost to the end, and we're looking forward to closing out all our fields and being on the other side of this. So, but for now, that's all we have. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. If you want more content from us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And if you want even more content from us, you can go subscribe to our monthly Total Focus newsletter. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. We're almost to the end of harvest. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.